Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I transformed this single car garage into something a little bit more usable, like a workshop or something like that. So stay tuned for this long video and we might find something good to show you in here. Or you might not be interested at all. Stay tuned to see how I made my messy workshop into an organized messy workshop.
As you can see by these pictures I've taken, the workshop in its previous state was not very organized, but tools and things were hanging up and the cat is meowing. I wanted to remove the storage of timber and things of the such, and collect what I have gathered in such of tools and supplies, to then organize, sort, and put things into different places where I would know where they are, but I wouldn't lose something. Try to look for it, and amongst the clutter be unsuccessful, then resorting to going to buy another one, to then only finding it in the end anyway.
When we first moved here, there was bushes and growing all over the shed, so it used to come inside. But we've since fixed that. The ashes remain. Damn, that's heavy. It's happening. Concrete slab seems a little bit uneven, but it doesn't matter because shelves are going to go on the front of this. I forgot to film it, but cut out this leftover bit from that bit. I'm going to leave an access panel so they can access the electricity from there. Currently the power's turned off. We've got a very cool wiring system going on. If you don't hate Phillips heads already, you should start, so the world can change and leave them behind. I believe. Hey. Yes. Tristan gave me help to do up until here. I'm gonna find the biggest pit for that spot, but did all the way till about there. So after I get rid of my shit and bicycle collection, move that around, should be able to do a bit more. Hello there, Mr. Spider. Ah, now it's painting white. Fuck. Fuck, I don't actually care. It does not matter at all. Gotta cut all these bad boys to 2400 millimeters. Cool.
have the most sawdusty boogers tonight. Whoops. Every time I press the film button, plane flies over. Whoops. So to stick to the Makita 18-volt ecosystem, I got myself a net.
Stick them on the wall with the good old Robinson or square, and then yeah, we're gonna bring it out about 600-ish. Should be all good. Intrusive thoughts 1. That joint doesn't sit over anything, but it's 2.4 meters in the air. I don't think I'm going to be lifting anything heavy enough to get up there to warrant it being strong enough to hold anything that heavy. I should have done it on the other side too, but probably this whole thing, doing it to each one was overkill, but I'll leave it at that. Still a long ways to go. But getting there. Doing the bare minimum with paint. And of course, wouldn't be a paint job without painting the floor. I'm not a big soft drink drinker, but this is not bad. Tastes a bit like gloves though. After a lot of juggling, got that wall up. Next is this wall. And then to move all this shit into that wall. Hopefully in an so much more organized manner. Whoa, space. Could almost park a car in here. Very
Well, it's Mama's fault. He's gone. He's gone to the corner.
have to stop through the mess and service a few bikes. Jesus.
You need to do in the middle.
Yep. So this entire wall is done. The last part is the top there and to paint there, but you know. The ugly thing is going.
Well, the one thing about it, it was freestanding.
Yeah. Starting to look organized. Ah, shit. Plan to get rid of maybe one or two of these bikes. Probably those two. But then they'll be replaced with the frames that are on the wall there. And these drop bars, the only good use for them is to hold normal bars. So I've got that there. And yeah, just got to paint that wall and put the wood up there and remove all that vines and shit that have been there for a long time. First time I had a real amount of stuff in here. We've got 2 runs. Got the dump run and the storage shed run. Amazing. Still don't know where to put stuff. Just gonna put it as I go. Not sure when the last update was, but made a little bit of progress hanging stuff on the wall. It keeps moving though. I've got these brown built plan drawers because tool drawers are way overpriced. And even the cheap ones are overpriced and they just feel like garbage. So I'm going to do my best to make these usable. They're pretty deep, about 840 millimeters deep. So it might be a little bit tricky, but I think I can make it work. I never had this much floor space before. I didn't film much of it, I don't think, but I've got these plan drawers that that I have put on wheels, casters. I'm gonna use it as a tool drawer. Pretty big, but better than nothing. In case some of you don't know, I'm sure many of you might, but perhaps for the younger generation like myself, where in the past they would draw things on this archaic material now called paper. They would draw, I guess, essentially the plans of buildings and whatever engineering marvels were happening at the time. So they would store these enormous pieces of paper in plan drawers. And they are quite big. This one's 830 millimeters. And about 1 meter wide, I guess. Don't know what that is in freedom, but I could make interesting tool drawers. A little flap here to make getting paper out easier. I'm not sure if I should have just cleaned that out. We shall see. So I'm trying to be cost effective with this build. So I have this rubber type material that I'm gonna line the bottom of the drawers with. Hopefully that will help stop things from sliding around, you know. All right, let's get on with the build. Shut the fuck up. So I made this thing a while ago. Just use an old PC case, attach it to the walls of this little shed, and put some spray cans in there, just of their paint variety. So I know quite easily which paint I should get out. Pretty good use for an old case there, but maybe I can do something a bit better for all the various sprays I have inside the main shed. I want to do like a kinda section for sprays and stuff like this. Instead of having them one in front of the other, I'd prefer if they were hanging down like this. I know it's cool to be able to see all the labels and stuff, but it's just such a waste of space and everything's always in the way. Let's try this. Doing some late night cutting.
Yep.
What time is it?
9 p.m. It's really good timing for cut wood.
Really nice and loud thing to do while at night time.
Yeah, and like less mosquitoes, less heat, so it's really safe environment.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
because today was 35.
Yep.
and the UV was like 13 or 14 on the index, which means basically instant death,
Yeah.
equivalent to jumping into a volcano. So we're doing it at night time. And fuck the neighbors. Slowly getting through the mess of things in the previous configuration, sorting as some may call it. But I've been trying to utilize these drawers. Still not exactly sure how to lay it out properly. But I've frequently used things closer to the workbench. Some more mechanic sort of tools here. Plenty of space to fill in. Mr. Potter. This one in particular has all the fasteners in it. Such things as archaic fasteners, which includes some nails and flat head screws. Spent a lot of time organising. Small screws, medium screws, and long screws. They're all sort of recovered ones. More space. Spent a lot of time with this one. General household stuff. Door latches, every angle thingies. These things for drywall. Other hooks. And the emergency nang. Hose clamps. Curtain rail. These thingies. Bongs and plugs. Tap clip rings. Random shit. A dead bug. Brass. Hooks. Hinges. And other shit. Spare parts, which is in the midst of being sorted. After cleaning out the shed, I've decided to get more shit to put back in. Went to a kind of Facebook garage sale kind of thing. The guy had a whole bunch of tools. I think I filled up about this much worth of stuff, and he said $80 for that. So I went back and got some more. A bunch of shifting spinners, which are pretty useful. Some made in Japan. Some rulers made in Japan, made in USA. Vice grips. These are pulling nails, pipe, wrench, grease gun. Germany. Scribes, plumb bob, some hand planes, rasp. I don't know the name of these ones yet, but I know they don't make them anymore, so I have to get them. Some glass scribes, some good old 10mm spanners. Stickies. 50mm tape measure. This one's pretty cool. Definitely don't need it, but I don't know the exact name of it, but a little weight set. So 100 grams for that. We've got a 1 kilogram one in there and a 2 kilogram one in there. Very satisfying. Metric 2 kilograms. Came as a whole set. Hose clamps because they get expensive really quickly. This cool 3/4 pint milk jug, I guess. Warranted hard silver soldered. I don't know. Probably won't use it for milk though. And a whole bunch of files. Plastic ones in there, but there's some pretty good looking ones in there too. A whole bunch of handles, which is nice.
Oh, in this box. Oh, this drill bit sharpener. I don't know if it's any good. Might be a bit garbage. The guy said it worked well, but of course he said that. Anyway, total $200. Some of these are pretty crusty, but they don't really deserve a full restoration or anything like that. Maybe just a bit of a clean. I'm sure this one could last another 100 years without being oiled or anything like that. These don't work yet, but I sprayed a little bit of the WD-40. I should have got more from that guy. So I went back and spent some more money. Somehow got swindled into buying a whole box full of spanners, which is fine, because I was planning to make a few little toolkits to scatter around in the cars and leave one in the house so I don't have to keep coming out into the shed. And yeah, maybe something a bit more portable. Whole bunch of punches and things. There's lots of Imperial spanners in there, but there's some cool ones. And a whole bunch of nuts and bolts and a lifetime supply of washers and just other random things. I don't think I'll ever use these, but they're cool, so I got them anyway.
Here, but not helping because falling asleep.
Imperial.
Imperial. These probably be good if I lived in America, but I don't. Managed to get a fair bit of metric out of that. Found where everyone's 10mm went. They went here. A lot of double-ended ones and some of these ones which I forget the name of. So I managed to get a whole set out of them, so that's good. And on the other hand, we have some random miscellaneous ones. An Imperial version of that. Oh wait, Imperial, and I think a Whitworth. So that's pretty good. And then some of these ones, which are also inferior. So yeah, it's can't complain.
Ooh, it's like a house moving a castle. Of course they don't do
Not dandelion. Shit, it's dandelion.
You can make it dandelion.
That would be from a TV show or something.
Should be fun. I think I...
No, you fucked it.
No.
Boo boo.
Yay! Dandelion, happy birthday.
I have a lot of these to sort through. I need to get one of those metric or Imperial thread checkers. Hopefully these are all metric. Just picked up this Ryobi table saw. Ryobi BT3000. And I can see why the dust extraction wasn't working. It's got a nice layout. That'll do it. The guy I bought it off was really nice. Oh, even has a drill bit. Nice. I need a medium length one. That's good. A little bit of slop, but it seemed to cut pretty straight. So hopefully I can get this running pretty well. Of course my vacuum cleaner is not in the garage. I also got this, you can't see. So where the motor connects to the drive shaft, I guess, I'm not really sure on table saw lingo, this little backing plate that holds the bearing into there was loose. So, and by loose I mean the two screws didn't exist at all. So I found some screws from the nut and bolt and screw department and attached that. Just have to make sure that they're not too long. Originally I had these ones and they would have gone into the spokes of that wheel there, but they seem fine now. And I greased up using some light grease on these rails here, but I'm assuming that's a terrible idea because it'll just get clogged up with sawdust then, but we'll see how that goes. It's not too difficult to take off now that I have the right tool. This old 19mm spanner is now specifically designed for this. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I just spent about 10 minutes trying to thread that on there. Fucking hell. I thought it was skipping a bit and it wouldn't attach because it's kind of got these flat sides on it, but I'm an idiot and just forgot that it's an opposite thread. Left hand thread? Right hand thread? Fucking hell. Classic. Right movement's fine, but left movement's a little bit. I might have to put some shims in there or something, so I can see how it goes. But I don't know if that'll make it vibrate when it's running or not, causing it to not cut straight. And yes, safety police, it is plugged in, so don't worry about that. Oh, now that I've got a table saw in here, it looks like it's going to be a little while before I can get it sort of tidied up in the grass to be clear and usable. But it is quite usable at the moment. They're just it looks pretty bad, I guess, but there's some boxes that I need to move out, some empty containers and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's come a long way since I started to it being sort of bare metal like that, nowhere to really hang anything and just shit everywhere. You know, I've got this big shelving thing now, which has been really good, just stacking stuff and having places to attach things and just generally being able to store stuff better has been really good. Obviously there's a lot of work that needs to be done too, and I'm not one to get a completionist cape on anything, so that might be the best it's gonna get. I have plans for this table saw to make a little cart for it, and perhaps another little table that can go here and it can go underneath it, and I can just wheel it out whenever I need to use it. But I just cannot help myself with clutter, and that's just the way I am. There's always a million projects going on at once, so I'll take something out, put it down, and then get distracted by something else, and it just all piles on top of each other. So yeah, I'm, trying to get better, but it doesn't really matter too much. I'll just clean up when it needs to be cleaned up. Probably a few things I can get rid of, but yeah. I got this paint spray recently, airless one, which has actually been pretty good. Might use that in a different video, but anyway, might follow up in a part 2 if anyone's interested. I don't actually care if you're interested, but it'd be good if you were. Where I might do a little bit more for this shed. So if you watched what I'm assuming will be a very long video, thank you. Oh, this is that thickness joint, not jointer, thickness planer, the GMC one, which I probably already showed before. But yeah. We have ourselves a watch chair.